Well, hey there! Welcome back to our channel. In this episode, we're going to show you our headliner shelf. Hey there, we're Nigel and Sue. When the global pandemic put a halt to our overseas travel plans, we bought this 4x4 Sprinter van and converted it into our tiny home on wheels. Since the beginning of 2021, we've been travelling Australia, and these are our adventures. Subscribe to our channel for more as we get outside into nature, hiking, mountain biking and kite surfing, getting off the beaten track and enjoying all this amazing country has to offer. This episode is a little bit different. We're not on the road this week, but we are going to go back to the van build and talk about one of the parts of the van that we're really pleased with, something that we had to really figure out for ourselves and how it worked out really well, and that is our headliner shelf. So let's talk about this shelf. So it's over the cabin, the driving part of the van, and obviously we have this curtain there for security and privacy. But so we have this shelf up here, and it's a large shelf, but we only put kind of fairly light goods in there. So we've got in there the sunscreens that go over the windscreen of the vehicle to keep the sun out, beach towels, jackets, and even it's where we keep our toilet paper. So let's show you how we created it. We're so happy with how our overhead cabinets turned out. We still need to put handles on them. Now today's job is a little bit further up, closer to the front of the van. And we need to tackle this over the cabin storage, or headliner shelf as some people call it. And we're doing that before we do this overhead cabinet here, because we just figured it would be a little bit easier to do this one first rather than have to go around the corner of the cabinet to get these brackets in. We have seen a couple of videos on YouTube where people have done this, but usually they have used a kit, and we really didn't want to pay $200 for a paper template and a couple of brackets, so we're going to attempt to do it ourselves. The first step to building the headliner shelf is going to be to create a template. So we're taking some measurements at the moment and just drawing some lines on each side. So now we are just mirroring the line on the other side, and then we can take some measurements and start drawing up our template.
And we're using some 1/2-inch foam for that, which will be a lot easier to work with than cardboard. Cardboard's obviously flimsy, so we'll take these measurements to the foam, cut the template, fit it in, and see where we rest with that.
So we've decided just to keep everything as right angles as we can, and just to follow the line from the bottom of this cabinet into the headliner shelf.
That'll be good because it'll be along that flatter edge, a lot easier to work with.
So we've made the template out of the polystyrene. Now Nigel's just putting it in position to make sure it all fits.
I don't want to stay up there, you know, does it?
Ta-da!
Okay, so we've just been fashioning up these brackets for the headliner shelf, the rear ones, depending on which way you're looking at it, and these are going to slot in. Well, I'll have to show you how we're going to do it, but we have to accommodate the screw, so I've just been using the drill press to put a couple of screws to accommodate the actual screw that fits in on the side wall, and we'll show you how that's going to work. Now what I will do is trim that off just to make this part easier. I'm just going to thread that through and then down and in behind, so that we're not going to see all this ugly bracket. Or I can maybe feed it through that way. I haven't quite decided yet which is going to be easier. I'm thinking this way because it's going to be shorter. I'll just round it off so that just to make that job easy. Now, and then we've got again manufactured some brackets for the front, and elected to go with 3mm aluminium. It was just a strap, and cut it in half, and then heated it and bent it. And this is going to be a tricky one because I don't think my hands are small enough to get through from the side, so I'll have to feed it through. There, and then use a knife and try and poke it back out. Once again, the only thing we're going to see is this part of the bracket. We'll put a couple of holes in there to screw in the actual headliner shelf itself. See how we go. So I've rounded that edge there off, so let's have a go at poking this one through. There we go. There. And then if you come around this side, hopefully you'll be able to see the hole. Is that going to line up? There it is. There's the hole there. So that hole. And then over here, do the same thing. We have to cut into this panel. There's where the timber goes, so I'll come down and touch. Just dig in there. Oh shit. Sensor. Bleep. Well, I've already,
Let's not talk about your finger.
Let's not talk about my finger that I almost cut off. With another Stanley knife. There we go. It's quite tough, this stuff. There we go. That should do it. It's going to end up there like that. So I'm thinking I'm going to feed this one through from the top. I know I've seen people feeding through from the bottom, and it's kind of difficult, but I'm going to try and feed it through from the top. If I can actually get my hand behind, I can feel that now. There we go. Beautiful. That'll work. Ta-da. I can bend that one up. It's got to be bent up a little bit. Maybe once it's screwed in, we can get the pliers on, the vice grips on it, and give it a twist. But that one's actually sitting nice and flush now and square.
So now we've got the template and we've drawn around on the piece of ply, so we're going to cut out the piece of ply for the shelf. So we've cut out the ply according to the template.
Well, we'll see if it fits. We've got plenty of timber if it doesn't.
Yes, because we had to buy a whole sheet. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if it fits.
There's no choice but to go over the top, don't we?
Only My problem is
we wanted to muscle it a little bit. And then it should pop in like that.
woohoo! Oh, just doing a happy dance.
Alright, that's good. Look at that, babe, she's pretty flush. I think that'll be nice.
So the next step is we're going to be attaching this piece of 19 by 42 pine onto the end. So this will serve two purposes. Number one is it will structurally help the shelf to be more solid, and secondly it's going to be kind of a lip, so that'll be at the front of the shelf when you're facing the shelf, so it will help to stop things falling out. So for the next step, we're going to be covering our headliner shelf with carpet, and we have chosen this, it's just like automotive carpet, and it's as close as we could get to the colour of the van interior there. So it's a very light grey. Sorry about that smash, Nigel's looking for something. And so this is what we're going to use to cover over the shelf right now. So what we've done now, we have put the carpet on one side and stuck it down, and then we've had to come and do all these little trims so it will all sit nicely around the corner. Maybe Nigel, you can demonstrate on that corner.
Yep. Like so.
Just so it's all going to fit snug. And we're about to use the same, it's the Sika spray fix, so the spray adhesive, and we're going to use that to stick the carpet onto the shelf, and then we're going to actually go over it with a whole other piece of carpet. So what we're looking at now, this is like the top of the shelf, so the part where our stuff will be sitting on.
Nice to have carpet on the top actually, eh?
Alright, so we've just finished cutting the top piece of carpet and just fitting that into place now. This was an off-cut, so it does have a couple of little
ribs through it.
Yeah, just...
The last part of the roll. That's okay. We won't see it.
You won't see it. It's just going to be a doonas and jackets there. Those creases won't even show.
Okay. Alright, headliner shelf, door, fascia time. I haven't actually seen any videos on this one, so there might be some out there, but at the moment trying to figure this out. So we want a door there, and having the carpet here is kind of nice because the door's not going to slam against the hard surface, so we'll use the carpet as a stopper. We need a piece of timber here to allow for the hinges to screw into. So at the moment, and we've obviously got a bit of a slope to consider. We've got a packer in here, which is giving us close to square with this piece of timber. What we're going to do is take this off. I want to see that this is going to actually work, so we'll attach that piece of timber to the door, tack it on, and actually see if it's going to work, and then we can, if so, then we can carry on with finishing the sides of the fascia and ultimately hide all this nastiness in here and on the other side. Yeah, let's give that a go for starters.
So we've got our side pieces into position. They will eventually obviously be drilled in, but we just cut them out using a template, and they just slot in there, and then we will fix the door onto the centre part there. And these are great, the hinges on these IKEA doors, because they basically just click into place. And there you have it.
Voila.
Our headliner shelf. Good job, Nige.
Let's work as a team.
We hope that you found this video helpful if you're planning to build a headliner shelf in your Mercedes Sprinter or any van conversion. If so, please give us a thumbs up. If you've got any questions at all, drop us a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more van build tips and van life hints and tips. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.